Let's talk about Bugonia, aka the movie that makes you think maybe the real aliens are the friends we made along the way. Now, this will be a casuals guide because I'm just a casual moviegoer. Okay, I'm not breaking down the tape. I'm just relaying my experience of the film, and maybe you relate, maybe you don't. So, this was directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. Okay, he is a sick freak, and I mean that so lovingly. Okay, if you've seen any of his movies, you've had an experience which maybe you like brought your mom to Poor Things, or you watched Killing of the Sacred Deer with your pops and you regretted it. That doesn't mean it's a bad movie. That just means Yorgos is a sick little freak. Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons are the two main characters in this movie. This is their movie. I mean, these are two heavy hitters. Emma Stone, I have her as the doe, aka the female goat. Jesse Plemons is that guy by your parents. He's the one person that every time he shows up in a movie, your parents go, "Oh, I know that guy." That's Jesse for you, all timer. Now, before we get into the actual movie, I want to just show what I believe to be the Yorgos formula. Okay, this is the graph. This applies for most of his movies. Okay, on the y-axis here we have effed up shit, and on the x-axis here we have runtime. Okay, so as you can see, as the movie goes on, the amount of effed up shit increases gradually, and then when you get towards the end of the runtime, skyrockets. And that's a pretty good formula that he applies to most of his movies, specifically this one as well. But this, I would argue, this could be even steeper for this movie. Let's talk about The Good. Okay, The Good is Jesse and Emma masterclass. Okay, this is their movie. They are movie stars. They are incredible actors. Okay, incredible, and they are incredible in this movie. This is the best I've seen Jesse Plemons maybe ever, outside of his one scene in Civil War, which I still think about once a week. Good Luck Babe, Chappell Roan song makes it in. That's a win. The pace of this movie rocks. I think it's about 2 hours, and it flies by. There's no like dull moments. There's nothing I would cut from this movie. It's unpredictably predictable. And what I mean by that is the whole question of, is she an alien or is she not? You go into this movie, if you know that that's the question, you kind of assume the ending. And again, this will be spoilers. So, like, you kind of assume she's going to end up being an alien. Even as I was watching the movie, was second guessing my own opinion. Like, I just found myself wavering a lot more than I thought I would. It wasn't as straightforward as maybe I anticipated, which, again, is a positive. The bad, um, you're the weird one if you recommend this to someone. As goes for most of Yorgos's movies, it's really hard to be like, yeah, you're gonna like this one. Go see this one, because then your friends are gonna look at you a little weird, and that's always tough. And then the weird, the ending. Now the ending is aliens, and they're up in the clouds, and they kill Earth. Okay, so there's a lot to wrestle with there throughout the whole movie. I put it rather plainly, but I do, I still haven't made up my mind if I like love the ending. I don't hate the ending by any means. It didn't take me out of the movie. It didn't ruin my experience by any means. It is just jarringly different than the rest of the movie. So there's that. Let's talk about what I learned before we get into my score. What I learned is this is potentially gaslighting for crazy people. So what I mean by that is this movie basically surrounds this this movie revolves around a conspiracy theorist played by Jesse Plemons who ends up being right the whole time. Now, normal people won't have the takeaway that like, hey, that's a good thing, Jesse Plemons, good job, dude, because all of humanity dies at the end of this movie. So can't it's not all sunshine and rainbows. But I do think there are some crazy people out there who are gonna be like, you know what? Maybe that conspiracy theory I've been holding on to, maybe I'm like Jesse P's character over there. Maybe I'm right. So it's kind of gaslighting for those crazy people. Bees are greater than humans. I think I kind of knew that going in, but it was nice to confirm. Again, I really am struggling with this movie in terms of like overall themes and what I'm going to take away from it, which is a good thing. Like, I'm wrestling with it a little bit. The one big thing I want to talk about is just this idea of like enemies. right? Because Jesse Plemons and his brother or cousin, anyways, they are treating these CEO billionaires, specifically Emma Stone's character, as the enemy. And they assume she's an alien and immediately assume she's the enemy. What they find out, or maybe they don't actually believe, but Emma Stone's alien race is actually working to help Earth. But they assume they're the enemy. And I think there's something there. Now, I'm not the guy to dive much deeper than that, but I think it's a very interesting talking point to talk about, hey, who's the real enemy here? Why do we always assume when our back's against the wall, maybe we had some tough luck? We assume we try to find a scapegoat. I think that's what I'm getting at. There's always scapegoats that we could make out to be the enemy, and we're not always right. That's deep thoughts from Wyatt. Now, my overall score, 74 out of 100. I really enjoyed this movie. I had a fun time with it. I do want to rewatch it. I don't see it going down on a rewatch. It may go up. The score may go up a little bit, but overall 74 out of 100. It's not going to win Best Picture. They may get some acting noms, but overall, it's a pretty good movie by Yorgos, and one of his more like accessible ones where like you don't feel like a total weirdo saying, "Hey, mom, dad, go watch this." Still don't do it, but I'll recommend it. I'll be the weird guy. Go watch this movie.